brother Alexander had fled with his family to Switzerland. On the following day, the borders were closed, and anyone wishing to leave Austria had to report to the newly opened emigration office. Thousands applied for exit visas, but only a few were granted permission to leave. "If they are forbidding us to leave, it means they have a plan for us," said Paulina. I said not a word. "First, they will take everything from us, and then they will fill ditches with our bodies." A few days earlier, uniformed men had entered our sister Rosa's apartment and shown her a document stating that her apartment and everything in it was to be taken from her. "Now there are officers sleeping in the beds where my children slept," said Rosa, on the afternoon she moved into the building where I lived with Paulina and Marie. She brought nothing with her but a few photographs and some clothing. So, now, we 4 sisters were living together in the same home, just as we had so long ago. "Are you listening to me? They are going to fill ditches with our bodies," Paulina said more emphatically. "You tell me the same thing every night," I said to her. "And still you do nothing." "What should I do?" "You could go see Sigmund and persuade him to request exit visas for the 4 of us." "And then where would we go?" "To New York," Paulina replied. Her daughter lived in New York. "You know that Beatrice will take care of us." When we awoke the following day, it was already noon. I took Paulina by the arm and we went for a walk. While we were walking down the sidewalk, I saw several trucks roll by. They pulled to a stop, and some soldiers jumped out and shoved us into one of them. The truck was filled with people, all of them terrified. "They are driving us to our death," said my sister. "No, we are taking you to the park to play with you," one of the soldiers guarding us said, laughing. The vehicle circled around the Jewish quarter where we lived and stopped from time to time to load in more people. Then they did indeed take us to a park, the Prater. They pushed us out of the trucks and forced us to run, squat, stand, jump. Almost all of us were old and weak. When we fell down from exhaustion, the soldiers kicked us in the groin. I held Paulina by the hand the whole time. "Spare my sister at least," I said to the soldiers. "She's blind." "Blind?" they laughed. "Wonderful! That'll be even more fun." They forced her to walk alone, her hands tied behind her back so she could not touch things in front of her. Paulina walked until she bumped into a tree. She collapsed on the ground. I got up with her and bent down, wiping her face clean of the dirt and blood that ran down her forehead. The soldiers laughed, a sound sweet with carelessness and sour with the enjoyment of someone else's pain. Then they led us to the edge of the park, lined us up, and aimed their rifles at us. "Turn around," they told us. We turned our backs to the rifles. "Now run home if you want to save your lives," one of them shouted. And hundreds of old legs set off running. We ran. We fell down. We stood up. We began to run again. While behind us, we heard the soldiers' laughter, sweet with carelessness and sour with the enjoyment of someone else's pain. Rosa, Paulina, Marie, and I passed the evening in silence. Paulina trembled, perhaps not so much out of fear for her life as at the thought that she would never again see the one closest to her, the one who had come from her womb. Rosa's and Marie's children were dead, and the sole remnant of the family I never had was a fading, bloody trace on the wall by my bed. They say it is more difficult for those with offspring to depart from this world. Death separates the one who received life from the one who gave it. Paulina sat in the corner of the room and trembled, sensing that separation. The next day I went to see Sigmund. It was Friday afternoon, the time he devoted to his ritual cleaning of the antiques in his